Well. That's probably what you're telling yourself right now, seeing me in front of a camera and talking to you. You're probably like, well. Look what the cat dragged in. And yeah, after it's been almost 200 days, I decided to come out of retirement. Even though I did not announce my retirement, I decided to come out of retirement from for one last dance. Like Michael Jordan, the GOAT. No, LeBron James is the GOAT. Oh, and today is the King's birthday. But anyway, I know you're asking yourself, Javi, where have you been? Well, in this episode, I'm going to try and answer some of those questions, catch you guys up to speed, give you guys somewhat of an insight as to what was going on in my head and why I just out of nowhere just stopped recording and putting stuff up, both on social media and, the podcast and everything. And yeah, hopefully, this episode starts getting the ball rolling and I stop recording more often and making more content. But I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but welcome back. Well, you know what? Not welcome back. How do I want to word this? Thank you for welcoming me back to your life. I know it's been a while, but I just had this urge to just record. And I've been making progress and somewhat making this room into like my recording environment. I have sound panels. I know there's still a little bit of echo. I'm still waiting to put some stuff up, but this is my workout room. We can call it a multi-purpose room because you can't see it, but to my right, there's a bike that I'm trying to fix up. There's workout equipment behind me. There is like a record player right here. There's a lot of stuff in this room. It's like my junk drawer, but it's like my junk room. But at least it's organized. But yeah, I don't know. For like the past month, I've been like itching to just record and just, I feel like I have a lot of things to say. I don't know why, but I definitely did learn a lot of things this year. And especially, the past 200 days or so that I've been out and just living my life. I've learned a lot of things and I feel like I should be communicating those things to you guys. But, with that short introduction to the side, if you're new, welcome. This is pretty decent. I'm Javier Sierra. I'm the host. This is my podcast. If you're coming back and you were looking for me for the past 200 days, here I am. I'm alive and well, thriving in life. And yeah, thank you for having me. It's an honor. The past like 10 minutes, I've been struggling on how to start this episode, but I feel like, just trying to be myself. I know I'm going to be a little bit rusty because I haven't done this in so long. And even like the last 3-4 episodes that I released and uploaded, I felt like I was just like out of my game. But, we're going to see where this goes. I'm still debating if I should still do video. I think right now I kind of wanted you guys to see me, but there might be episodes here and there that are just audio and others that are video and audio. So, just don't worry about that. It's all under control. But yeah, I know it's been a while and I'm just going to jump right into it. Last time you guys saw me was in June 15, I believe. And that episode was episode 82. Oh, I think that was the episode that I lost power in the house and I just decided to record out of nowhere. So that was an interesting experience, but a lot of things have unfolded since that instance. And, if you follow me on social media at _Sierra, you probably saw that I went to Disney World at the end of June and met up with my family in Florida. And that was pretty fun, pretty fun. It was kind of like nostalgic, because after that trip, it's when I was like, man, like I want to record so bad, but something deep down in me just told me like, no, like just enjoy it. You just, because if you're an OG, you know that the very first episode was about a family trip that I took the summer leading up to my senior year. Me and my family and I went to Disney World. And that was, chaotic, dealing with senior project and going to Disney and uploading not dealing with senior project, dealing with the summer class and uploading stuff at the last minute and all that stuff. That was crazy. And, like the stories, it was nuts. But this trip was interesting. It was my first trip with my girlfriend where we took a flight and went somewhere else. And it was the second time that my parents were meeting her, and the first time that my sister and my oldest brother were meeting her, and a lot of my extended family. Well, more specifically, one uncle and one aunt and their family. So it was an interesting experience. Nothing wrong happened, which I'm thankful for. My family loves my girlfriend. So, that's, if you're in a relationship, that takes a lot of weight off your shoulders, except that I feel like there's always like anxiety, at least for me, whenever like I'm introducing my girlfriend to people that really care, that I care about, especially family. That's like, like a pretty big deal. But everything went perfectly fine. It was a crazy, crazy trip because it was, I believe it was 5 parks in Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot. 4 parks? However many parks it is in like 5 days. I think it's 4 parks in 5 days or something like that. It was crazy. It was a crazy trip. But, we went to support my sister in a dance competition, which that was pretty good. Like I gotta admit it, I think she has all of the artistic attributes from the family are in her. I think I have the athletic stuff, just a humble brag, but I'm just saying, 3 marathons in 15 months and, 3 half marathons, and currently ramping up for my next half marathon, and, a race that I did at night, which I'm going to get to eventually. But I'm just saying, tooting my own horn. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to like recap the trip in my head, but I remember it was early flights from O'Hare to Florida, and then my parents and my sister got in late because of a bad weather, and then waking up early to go to the parks. I mean, going to Disney is a vacation, but not the relaxing type of vacation. It's the we gotta do stuff and like type of vacation, like You gotta make use of every little single moment so that the money spent is worth, like, because it's just so expensive, and like you gotta make use of everything. But yeah, I mean, I think like the highlights of that trip were the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. That was arguably one of my favorite rides ever to date. The Tron ride was pretty good. The Avatar ride was pretty good. I kind of wish we would have spent more time in Animal Kingdom, but we were trying to park hop, so we just did, the main things in Animal Kingdom, and then we, moved forward. But it was a pretty good trip. I guess like opening up a little bit, you guys know me. I like just opening up about myself. I definitely did cry when I was leaving, and I don't think I told my parents nor my family, maybe my girlfriend. I don't know. You know how men are. We feel stuff, but we keep it to ourselves, and we don't share it, except if it's in front of a camera. Because, like, no one listens when it's in front of a camera. So it's fine. It's like talking to a wall. I'm basically just talking to a camera. I'm not talking to anyone. But yeah, it was bittersweet saying goodbye to my family, because I don't know. I feel like the older I get, the more I start to really think about the times that I undervalued my youth and like my time that I spent with my family. I mean, it's been 6.5 years since I've been in the States and like living in the States, because yeah, like when I was in school, like I would go home over breaks and stuff like that, but like I spent more time living in the States than living back home. And now that I'm like working full time and stuff, I haven't been home since 2021, I believe. Well, winter 2022. Well, January 2022. But yeah, it was bittersweet, like not just missing on stuff with family. Like it was the first, like that trip was the first time I met my niece, and like it's not the same like seeing them through a screen and seeing them in person, because it's just, it's like if you're Hispanic, you understand. Well, you don't necessarily have to be Hispanic, but that for Hispanics, family is a lot and it's very meaningful. And for me, my family is everything. So just the fact that I know that I don't know when I'm going to see them again, just because of my current circumstance here in the States, is kind of like sad and bittersweet. So like just saying goodbye was very hard. And like I vividly remember like my voice cracking, like when I was saying goodbye to my mom and my sister, and then my dad drove us to the airport, and then I was saying goodbye to my brother, and like my voice was cracking as well. And then when I said goodbye to my dad, like I was crying, but like I mean, no, I'm not crying. But yeah, it was like, don't get me wrong, I love seeing my family. I love it when they come to the States and see me. I just also don't like the fact that I have to say goodbye, even though it's like a see you later, but still, like, it's like, especially like in seasonal depression it's real, and your boy suffers from that. So especially in the wintertime and in the holidays, when I know I can't see my family, it's especially hard. So it's just like, like the usual, whenever I see my family, obviously I just get pretty sad afterwards, but we just rolling with the punches. And then shortly after that trip, so shortly after that trip, I injured my back, and then I started going to the chiropractor and just, adjusting my back and my hips. Like it was a bad injury. Like I couldn't run for like a solid 2 months, I think, almost 3 months. I didn't start running again until like early August. But I like not to the extent where I could like, get back into training in full gear and stuff. And like that just set back all of like the rest of my running plans that I had for the year. So I was just like, overcoming that. And like, I guess like I'm at the point in my life where like, I guess I'm going to have back pain for the rest of my life, which is kind of sad, but I mean, it's still kind of fresh, especially the back is so sensitive, but we're making progress, like progressively like ramping up and stuff, and, adding more strength training and all that stuff. Like, I feel like I've gotten pretty good at kind of like listening to my body and knowing what works and what doesn't work and all that stuff. But yeah, trying to ramp up for a half marathon in April, and then another one, I think, early May, and trying to cross train with swimming and indoor cycling, because I don't know how to ride a bike, but still trying to limit as much impact as I can on my body on rest days and stuff like that. So strength training, mobility, like I'm to the point that I'm doing mobility every day, and unfortunately I injured my other leg like 2 weeks ago, so I kind of had to put a pause on my training, but I've been swimming for the past 2 days. When you guys see this, it'll be probably New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, so whichever it is, Happy New Year. But yeah, it's just doing mobility every day, just trying to like fix my hip and stuff and like strengthening it and all that stuff. So not fun, but it's part of the process. So that I just don't like the idea that if I keep pushing myself without fully recovering, I'm just going to make it worse. And I kind of have some regrets of how I did all of my marathon training and stuff, because it was like so sketchy. Like, I did all the running and stuff, but like the strength training was the part that I was missing, and that really set me back a lot, because I was looking back at pictures of like how I looked, and I was just like so skinny and like barely any muscle. I mean, I had the muscle and like, but it wasn't like healthy and not sustainable. So like as soon as like I hit like a wall, I just bounced back in weight, and like now I'm trying to like build muscle but like also lose weight. It's like very weird, but yeah, that was pretty much, July was just that. And then in August, my girlfriend and I celebrated 1 year of being together. So that was pretty fun. Me, romantic hobby. Obviously took her out to dinner, and, just celebrated. But it was crazy because it's like so many things have happened since I've been with her, and like to just like look back, it feels like it's been more than a year. Well, more than a year and a half as of this recording, but it's crazy, and I'm excited to see where things go. My family is asking me when I'm getting married, and I know I'm gonna marry her, but I'm like, fam, like, there's so many questions I have to answer, and I just don't know if I'm in the right mental state to get married. It's just all the stuff with the green card and like the status and all that stuff. It's just stress that I don't need in my life. And yeah, so I know I'm going to marry her. So we've talked about that. So there's that, you don't have to worry about me fumbling the bag. Like, it won't happen again. But not that I fumbled the bag before I'm marrying someone. I'm saying like fumbling the bag. If it's a callback to an old episode where I fumbled the bag at the Louis Tomlinson concert, and then, funny enough, after fumbling the bag in that concert, that's when I met her. So, things happen for a reason. But, and then in August, I did a Tough Mudder, which I think this would be the first swear word I'll say in front of the camera in a while. That shit was nuts. I thought I was gonna die. I did it in 2 days' notice, and let me. The only reason I did it was because it was free, and because it was an excuse to hang out with a friend that I hadn't seen in a while because he went to third shift. So like our schedules just didn't match, and he's one of my closest friends. He was my first friend when I moved to this undisclosed location, you know. But yeah, man, that was a one-time thing, and I'm doing it again because it was traumatizing. Like it felt like I was in a war. Like I was at war. Like for some reason we had to crawl through some trenches, like mud pits, and like climb through them. And like I was like just thinking about it, I'm having like flashbacks, like, and then it's just crazy. But like it was just nuts. Like I remember like they just tease you with like, ooh, like, just jumping over some logs and like climbing some stuff, and then like the next one is like just a mud pit, like four mud pits, and you gotta climb over them and like exit. And I'm like, once you're in there, you the only way you can leave is if you do the whole thing. I didn't skip any obstacles, I do know that, but it was traumatizing. When I tell you, like, that really gave me a reality check on not knowing how to do a pull-up is gonna be impactful in my life, so I really need to get on that. But man, like I like Vietnam flashbacks with that. It was nuts. It was crazy, and I don't know how people do that more than once. Like the running was fine. It was a 5K. To me, that's a piece of cake. But freaking climbing, and like there was like the last obstacle was like electroshock, and it's just like I felt like the when it hit me in the back, and I was like it was bad. And then there was also one thing where like there was like this giant wall, and like thankfully my friend managed to like pull me up, but God, like it was crazy. It was insane. It was a once in a lifetime thing that I'm not gonna do ever again. Never ever in my life, unless I get jacked like a Marine or Army or whatever. That's the only time I'm gonna do it again. But this fatty is not doing that again, and unless I get paid for it. I mean, in this case, it was free, and I bought a hat. So technically, I only paid like $30 because I bought the hat, and that was it. But God, like I mean, like my socks after washing them still had sand in them. My shorts had sand in them. Like I had to throw away so many things. I just threw out my shoes. There were some beat up running shoes. I threw them out because they were just like I couldn't save them. Like the shirt still has stains from the sand, which is nuts. But it was a pretty good experience, a very unique experience. Don't get me wrong. If you feel like you're fit enough, you should definitely go try it out. It's a thing that, if you're crazy and weird, you might like it. But, I thought I was weird for liking marathons and running for 4+ hours. But people that do this, like, consistently are a different type of crazy. And, God, like, yeah, I really doubt I will be doing another Tough Mudder, let alone a Spartan. So yeah, moving forward, September, well, I turned 24 in September, which is it's good news. It's very good news because it means that in next year my car insurance goes down and I'll be able to rent a car without a fee, which is, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And for my birthday, some work friends, they're not work friends. They're friends. They're not friends. They're family. I forgot how the Fast and Furious song went. But anyway, It's been a long day without you, my friend. So I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Anyway, but we went to St. Louis. We went to Six Flags. That was pretty good. It was pretty fun. I got scared because I thought my girlfriend, something was gonna happen to her, which was also like reminiscing on our second date, which I'm pretty convinced she only went on that date because it was a free trip to Six Flags, because she admitted to me that she was unsure about dating me. It wasn't until the second date. So after the first date, she told me, I thought that date was successful. I guess I almost fumbled it on the first date. So, you know, even superstars miss shots sometimes. But went to Six Flags in St. Louis. That was pretty fun. I'm trying to think. Six Flags is when it made me realize that I'm human and that age is catching up to me, because I felt like I was gonna die in every single one of those rides. Like afterwards, I was either like dizzy or like my body hurt. Like the next day, I was sore, and that had never happened. So like I either have to get in better shape, or I can't handle with these young kids anymore, because I can't hang with these young kids anymore. Because man, like it was bad. Like it was really bad. I mean, the rides were fun, but I thought like half of the time I was gonna die getting off the car, or the little thingy. But it was very fun, very enjoyable. And then I went to my first, baseball game, which that was pretty fun, even though it was so fast because the new pitching clock just made the game like 10 times faster. So we spent more time looking at hats and getting ice cream and hot dogs than actually watching the game. I mean, I don't think any of us are baseball enthusiasts, so like I was just there for the vibes. I went to the Arch. That was pretty fun. Seeing St. Louis from up there. I had never been there, so it was pretty cool. And what else happened in September? I think that was pretty much September. And then October. Buckle up. Buckle up, kids. If you're a kid listening to this, I would be concerned, because this is very mature. And I'm kidding, it's not mature. But, just be aware of what you're watching on the internet. But buckle up, because October, man. The character development that basically whoever is writing the 2024 script, they waited for all the character development to happen in the last 3 months of the year. Because October, man, October 2nd. Yeah, October 2nd. The 2021 Pilots concert. That broke me and healed me at the same time. Because when I tell you that I was bawling my eyes out, pretty much on 80% of the songs. And I just felt like it was like a wake-up call. And I just went into like this insane depression after the concert. Like, just ask my friends. And I like, because I went to work the day of the concert. And then, did I go to work? Yeah, I went to work the day of the concert. And then I took the next 2 days off. And the following weeks, it's just depression. Like I was like, why am I here? What's my purpose? Like, I just had like this existential crisis as to like, I feel like I'm wasting my time being here. Like, just what I'm doing. Like, I feel like it has no purpose. And it just had this like, I don't know, like ever since the concert, I've only been listening to 21 Pilots, with the exception of when Tyler released his newest album, Chromacopia, which was pretty good, and that's it. Other than that, it's only been 21 Pilots, and I don't know if that's because you know what? I genuinely cannot tell you why. I mean, I love the music, but there's just something about it. I feel like I think it just means that I'm mentally unwell, and I laugh at that because that's how I cope with my stuff. But I think it's more concerning. But you're just gonna under the rug, and we're fine. Like, we're gonna keep our feelings to myself. But yeah, it was an insane concert. We're gonna talk about the concert first, but the concert, amazing, spectacular. Like, I wish I was at the pit because it was such a, like, even though I wasn't in the pit, best concert I've ever been to, hands down. It doesn't compare to any other concert I've been to. It was just like them performing, amazing, and just like how the songs, just like the flow of the songs, perfect. Like, it's just amazing. And just starting with Overcompensate, obviously, amazing. And then just like every song, they even sang stuff from the self-titled album and some unreleased songs, and I was like, like. And also, I was sad because my brother and my sister weren't able to come, so that just made me even more depressed. But yeah, but anyway, and then I don't know if I ever mentioned this in the podcast. I guess it's a show in the podcast, but there's one particular song in the album Clancy, which is, that's where the poster is from. The poster is from the concert, there. There's one particular song by the name of Next Semester. And if you know me personally, you know that song has a grip on my life to the extent that in my Spotify Wrapped, I think I played it in a row a month, every day, at least once for a whole month. And it's just, I had it on repeat. I played it at least once a day since it released. And I don't know why. Like, I had to deep dive into the lyrics, but upon listening to it, the first time I listened to it, bawling my eyes out. I'm like, why? I was just in shock because I was like, why am I crying? Like, I don't get it. Like, I had never, like, actively, like, just first time listening to a song, just bawling my eyes out. And then I looked at the lyrics, and that just made me even cry even more. Because if you don't know what the song is about, it's basically explaining a panic attack, and how anxiety and panic attacks make certain people feel. And I just resonated on a whole different level. And the whole thing that it takes place, like the Tyler's panic attack takes place in college, I was like, that made me even resonate more with the whole song. And then just like the line, like, can't change what you've done, start fresh next semester. Man, like, I have to tell myself that every day I'm having like this like existential crisis of like thinking about my past. Like, if you know me, I think I've said it previous times before in the podcast, but I deal with mental health issues. I'm just kind of come clean, depression and anxiety since junior year of high school, probably earlier. It was diagnosed in my junior year of high school, but I've been battling with it for a while now, since I can remember. Probably like I was like 12, 13, 14, probably 13. That sounds like a right age, but I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, and that's kind of like how I gravitated towards 21 Pilots, because like the songs were a lot about mental health and like how Tyler deals with his mental health and like seeing other people going through stuff regarding mental health and everything. So it just like that made me just resonate even more. And then just the song Next Semester, just everything about it. Like it like I knew as soon as I bought the tickets for the concert that when that song starts playing, I'm gonna break down and I'm just gonna start crying. And I told my girlfriend, I was like, I kid you not, as soon as I hear the just one of the chords from Next Semester, I will start crying. And that's what happened. Like I still remember it transitioned from Heathens to just like the oh, and I was like and I just started crying and I was singing and crying and just like it was just like the only reason I was not going to record the concert because I was like I just want to soak it all in, but I did it. I recorded it because my sister wasn't there and I knew she wanted a video. So I was like, okay, like, but then deep down I was like, I need to be able to look on this whenever I have I'm really going through it and just like, because listening to it live is just such an experience. If you have a group or a band or a singer that you're like really means a lot to you, do anything you can to see them perform live because the songs that they make are meant to be performed live. And when I tell you that the entire song and just the bridge of the song, it's just like just thinking about it makes me emotional because there's just something about the song that it was insane. Like I can't really put it into words because it won't do it justice because it was such a good show. And it just like, I'm not kidding when I told you like it broke me, like pieces, and it started to put me back together. And then like I'm finishing, like still working on putting myself back together into building like this new me. And I knew like music just had a very special and important place in my life, but I didn't know it was this fundamental to my life. I just still don't understand why my brain is like, you know what? We need 21 Pilots. And I've just been like, that's the only thing I've been listening to. And I'm actually concerned about that. But it's just like, I like it. I feel like it's because like I get such a limited time of me being able to listen to music and I don't want to waste it. And like it's not that the music is bad. It's just, I don't want to listen to it, which is weird. But yeah, it was just an amazing concert. And also I do have a peeve with Chicago because why the hell are there two United Centers? There's United Center, which is like a convention center, and then the United Center, which is the stadium. And I bought parking for the convention center. So then we had to Uber from the convention center to the stadium and then back, which was stupid, but the concert made it a lot better. And I have to edit the audio of the concert and just like block me singing, because especially the Next Semester song, like you can hear me crying and like my voice is cracking. And I think on the back you can hear my girlfriend asking like, "Are you crying?" And then I'm like, "Yeah." And then it was just I don't know, man. Like that song, like for a few weeks, every time I would drive and I would play that song, I would cry. And I don't know if it's because I was homesick, because I was going through a seasonal depression, if I was just, just really, 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 really going through it. But like that song it's just perfect for me. It just hits a very specific string that just like, but it's so good. It's perfect. It's perfection. Like I could go hours talking about the song and explaining everything, but I'll save you from that. If like it's crazy. But and then November was Thanksgiving. Nothing major. Oh, in October I also did a night trail race, which was pretty fun because it was pitch black, it was cold, and it was an uphill, and it was a 10K, and I did it. It felt pretty good afterwards, actually. So that kind of like, like get the ball rolling with racing again and stuff. And I just wanted to try a new type of race, but it was pretty good. And then November, just Thanksgiving and Black Friday, nothing major. And then December, Christmas, again, nothing major. And that's, I guess we're, today, December 30th. And December 30th, 2024, one more day left in 2024. And I kind of just want to, give you guys a recap of where I've been, what I've been doing. But I also kind of wanted to just talk a little bit because I really learned a lot of things this year that it's crazy to think that I always say like this year was the most important year in my life because XYZ. But I think if that's not how you feel at the end of every year, then I feel like you're doing life wrong. Because, at least for me, like, I know like every day is about learning new things and learning stuff about yourself and growing and changing as a person because, every day you're a different person. And every day you get the chance, you get the privilege to live another day. And, it's a blessing. So if you don't put yourself in circumstances where you're doing new things and learning new things and wanting to do new things, then at least for me, I would be very concerned about my life. Because even if I'm going through a bad day, I'm still willing to try new things. And because I know it's like the bad days are only temporary, and like that's what makes the good days even more special is those bad days. But I guess like this year I really learned the importance of just saying yes to new experiences. Like, the second half of the year, I pretty much did one big, I guess, fundamental thing where I learned something either about me or my family or life or whatever. And it really like has really changed my perspective as to how I see my life. Because everything is so fleeting and so like everything is temporary. And you don't know when, I don't mean to like make it, I don't mean to Kid Cudi the episode, but at any point, like I could just like not have anything anymore. And, like all you can really look back on are memories. And I feel like living a self-fulfilling life is very important. And the older I get, the more I start to really think about that type of stuff. And also like, cherish the moments that you have with friends and family. And, especially being here and being so separated and distanced from my family has made those moments with my family even more meaningful because I know like the time that I spend with them is very limited. And even with my friends, like sometimes like I'm embarrassed and being like, oh, like we should hang out or something because I don't want to be that friend, but I know like I like spending time with them. So like why wouldn't I tell them that I want to see them or that they're special to me or something like that. But just seeing like through all like the ups and downs from the year, just everything that transpired, like even like the freaking Tough Mudder showed me that I'm resilient and like I can keep fighting and I can keep going even when like I feel like I'm like literally in a hole trying to climb myself out of it. But I know like there's gonna be someone that can help me out of it. And vice versa, where I need to be there for the people that really care about me. And just, or, with the, what was the other? Oh, like I was thinking about the night race. Like for some reason, like during the night race, I did a lot of thinking because I ran without any earbuds and it was just pretty much pitch black and like just like my headlamp. And it just really went into my thoughts. And I was just thinking about, like how far I've come with life just as a whole, and like with running and like my relationships with people and, just how important people are to just life in general. Like I thought like I would be okay just isolating myself, but as I kept opening myself up more and more, I'm starting to realize that being around people is important. Like there needs to be this balance of being with people and being by yourself. And you can't have too much of both. Like you have to have a good balance of both. Because if you spend too much time with people, then you start losing yourself. But then if you start spending too much time by yourself, then you start neglecting people. And it's part of the human, I guess it's part of being human that for us to need people, like there has to be this balance. So I guess like that's something that I also learned this year is just the importance of having like a balance between being by yourself and then spending time with people. Because like sometimes like I just had to like people would want to hang out or like I had to like backpedal on plans that I had made because I can't, like I just need some time to myself. Like it's been like whether work was overwhelming or stressful or like, like just the stressors of life and, being away from family and being in a small town or something like that. Like stuff happens, like, we're human. And sometimes I feel okay still going to stuff because maybe that might cheer me up or like, it's what I need. But sometimes I know like, sometimes I just like being alone because I get to be with my thoughts because I can't really be with my thoughts if I'm with other people. And, that's something that I'm trying to work on with my girlfriend is like how to be with my thoughts, but also with her in the room. And it's kind of difficult, but, it's like, obviously like that's something that you work on with a relationship and stuff, but just that balance has really been, I feel like this year has been a lot about balance, which is very, what's the word? Cringe. But I feel like if it, like it, it's, I can apply it to running. I can apply it to work-life balance, like balance with like my running training and like strength training and cross training and all that stuff. And, balance with like my life when it comes to social media and like creating and just like I feel like I had lost the balance that I had when I first moved here because like nothing really had picked up when I first started here. Whereas now that I'm almost 2.5 years in, like, like adulthood really like I'm starting to see like everything about adulthood and just getting bombarded with information and like it just like losing the balance that I thought I had. So like it's just I feel like that's subconsciously what my body was telling me, like just that's why I guess we're on break. Like I wasn't posting anything on social media. I was just going about my life and just like trying to like figure out what to do and like what but living life and like thinking a year ahead and like also worrying about like the next day. It's like I guess it also doesn't help that I have ADHD. So like it's just like there's just so many things going on in my head. Like today I was trying to clean my house and I was trying to clean 3 rooms at once and it just failed catastrophically and it took me like almost 3 hours to just clean my whole house. But once I find that it's like that just the perfect balance. I know probably the perfect balance is unachievable, but the closest thing to perfect balance I guess is what I'm striving to achieve. But like, and I guess like the other really important thing that I learned. It's just like, I know like it's gonna be like, oh, here he comes, about to reference next semester again. But I'm taking those lyrics to heart, man. The When it like you can't change what you've done, just start fresh next semester. Literally, I can start fresh next semester because I'm not in school anymore. But I take it as a metaphor as starting fresh the next day. Like, you messed up. Let's say I messed up today. You can start fresh tomorrow. It's a brand new day. You have 24 hours to do something again. Or, like 2024 perhaps wasn't the year you wanted it to be. Well, a new year is upon us, and like learn from the mistakes and the hiccups and like the downhills and whatever you want to call it, like from 2024, and apply it and learn from it and grow from it, and then tackle it in 2025. And I mean, I'm already, like, me recording right now is something that I've been personally trying to work on for 2025, which is just finding that balance of like the creative side of my life and what the opposite of the creative side it is, I guess. Like, I don't know, like my left side and my right side of my brain, whatever you want to call it. Just finding that balance, because just eventually, like, this is like an outlet for me, because it helps me kind of like break down my thoughts and just kind of figure out how to go about certain things, because like I'm the type of person that thinks out loud. So before recording, I have to think about what I'm going to say. So if I have like a specific thought, like I'm already breaking down that specific thought to the point where I'm like, okay, like this is what this means and this happened for this reason. So like now I can talk about it on the episode. So it's just like, it's not just like, you might think that I just sit in front of a camera with no plan whatsoever, but I have notes here. Okay, the camera is not only to look at myself, like the computer is not only to look at myself, what the camera sees, but also like I have notes here. So most of the episodes have no path or flow or whatever, but I'm trying to work on it, okay? But yeah, I mean, it's crazy that 2024 is wrapped up. I mean, by the time you're seeing this, it's probably New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So if it's New Year's Eve, I hope you have a great 2025. I hope you're able to achieve all the goals that you have in mind. Like you get to experience life and really cherish every moment that you have with your family and your friends and just with yourself. And I really hope that, I know that 2025 has in store a lot of good experiences for you and blessings. I'm talking to you and I was talking to myself, because it'd be kind of weird to be like, I know 2025 has a lot of good stuff in store for me, which I'm pretty sure it does. But, like, I it's also kind of corny, the whole thing of like, it's not losses, it's lessons. And I was like, it's true. Like, every time I mess up, I try and learn from it. And then, like, what can I do next time to avoid this, or better prepare me for this instance, or something like that. So I hope, like, you're able to look back on 2024, look at all the good stuff and all the bad stuff. And if you haven't thought about it, journaling really helps with that, because it's like literally a daily log of everything, or a weekly log or something like that. Just write stuff down, because everything is so quick to just disappear, whether it's something that you're thinking or something that you experienced or whatever. It could be like, I mean, I save small stuff from like when my girlfriend and I celebrate or do something special, or just like hang out and stuff. Like I keep little stuff, because like, it's like kind of like a nice memory. It's like makes me think of like where I was when that happened, and like kind of like keep the memories alive and stuff. Because I don't know, like it's very scary how we get introduced to so much information that we just forget stuff. And especially for me, like I'm kind of like getting better with my brain fog, but it's still kind of scary. But yeah, that was a tangent. But to wrap up the episode, I just want to thank you for staying persistent. I know sometimes probably you don't get the credit, but pushing forward, pushing through, it's a lot. And I know it takes a lot of effort and work, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So if you haven't heard it today or in a while, you're doing a great job. Keep going, keep pushing through. Just you're doing great. And I hope 2025 is a great year, better than 2024. Even if 2024 was amazing, I hope 2025 is better. Just because that's how I know it should be. So you every day go up. Every year should be better and better. Even if it's shitty, something must have happened in those 365 days. At least one day should have made the year great. So you just have to look on the bright side of things. But kind of telling that to myself. But anyway, thank you so much for welcoming me back to my podcast. I'm your host, Javier Sierra, and this was pretty decent. I'll see you guys later. I was going to say catch you guys next time and see you guys later, but I just see you guys later. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Peace. Oh, like and subscribe, and I don't know, share this episode with whoever thinks. Especially the last 20 minutes. I feel like that was pretty solid. Anyway, I love you guys. Take care. Peace.